So, with Ria's disappearance, there was a media feeding frenzy. They did investigations, background checks, etc., etc. And one could say the excrement hit the fan at that point. All kinds of people were looking into Tannenbaum and Ria, and things started to come out. For instance, CIA files stated that they didn't know Ria had gone to communist countries for research, that he didn't work with Kissinger, etc. And in fact, the CIA files essentially said that they never heard of him. Frankly, I worked with the CIA for many cases, and it's inconceivable that they're incompetent enough that they would say they'd never heard of Thomas Ria. Secondly, the agents that I have come to meet and come to know are too arrogant to ever admit they'd made a mistake, even if they had. So here we got a probable CIA agent gone missing. Well, the reporters started snooping around, and they found out that the president of the student group at CU was also a CIA agent, as was the Mr. Smiley, the president of the university. In fact, the University of Colorado at that time, probably even now, was riddled with various government intelligence operatives. So after they do this thorough investigation of Thomas Ria, they changed the focus on Degelia Tannenbaum because she signed up in a few documents, and the documents had Thomas Ria's name on them, like withdrawal slips and various things like that. Well, Ria had talked to me about giving her a power of attorney, and I had said that, or told him that that wasn't necessary if you gave her permission to write checks or whatever. And he was going to think about the power of attorney because he had got married and decided that now that he wanted divorced, which was also very curious because he'd only been married probably 6 months. So now, looking at this, we're going to break this into various sections. What was going on at the University of Colorado at that time? What government agencies were operating here at that time? Why would the government be interested in the activities of anything going on at this time? And then finally, who is Mrs. Tannenbaum? Additionally, Professor Ria married a woman out of Czechoslovakia whose father was or uncle was the equivalent of or the head of the equivalent of the Russian KGB or GRU. So Ria, stepson of a Marshall Plan employee, government employee, marries an heiress from Czechoslovakia, moves to Berkeley, takes a dive off a bridge and dies. His son goes on to study at Harvard and takes a job in academia, writes some books about Czech history and things such as that, and then disappears. That's probably as mystical or mysterious as Nelson Rockefeller's son disappearing in Indonesia. So you can see why the disappearance of Thomas Rea caused a whole lot of questions, investigations, deep digging, etc. So now we'll turn to Ilya Tannenbaum.